Hey, how's it going, everyone? Earlier today, we got patch notes for the summer spook date that is going to be coming shortly, the spooky update. There's a lot of talk about here, so let's just go through each thing, starting with the new features. The first thing they mention here is a guild wall, and they say, want to know what your guildmates are up to? Well, the brand new guild wall is the destination to keep connected to your guild. This is one way we are aiming to build stronger connections amongst our players. So this sounds like it's going to be an expanded version of the current existing guild wall where we can just see players' levels. And I think we'll be able to sort by like highest level or lowest level, and then I think we'll be able to do that with other criteria as well, like maybe arena awesomeness or total awesomeness, maybe even total guild coins that week or something along those lines. Anything like that would be kind of interesting. I think this is a really good change, and I'm looking forward to this. But I also wish that we would also be able to see the contribution of each player to the daily guild quest, because currently we can only see the top 3, and that makes it very difficult to run a guild because you don't know if there are maybe some players at the bottom that just don't contribute to the guild quest at all, in which case everyone in the entire guild is getting worse rewards because of that. So in my opinion, that is something that needs to be changed very quickly. I think they need to make that a priority because it's a real pain for guild leaders to figure out who is actually contributing and who is not. I mean, honestly, right now you would need your entire guild to be in Discord, and then you would need them to post their own screenshots of their contribution at the end of each day, which is a real pain for everyone involved. So hopefully that is added as well soon. Also, with the new features, we will be able to always view the top of leaderboards. So even if you're at like rank 3000, you'll still be able to look at the top 100 players in Arena, and you can see what teams they are using. This is a very welcome change in that way. Everyone can actually see what shard they're actually on, and they can see what players they might share an arena shard with, because not everyone knows, because they might be too low of a rank to see any other players in their guild around them or whatever, and they might not be able to figure out what shard they're in, but now that will be a much more straightforward process. And then we move on to content after that. So those are the only 2 new features. I was hoping there'd be a few more, but I guess we will take it. So the first bit of content is Skeleton Yorick. A new minifigure is here, and it is one of our most unique yet. He is a calcium-fortified support unit who is bringing a new dimension to our game. He is our first minifigure who is both a builder and an explorer, and also comes with pirate and castle synergy. You will not want to miss him when we debut our new style of Unboxed event with extra credit. We'll come back to the extra credit bit in a second, but Yorick, that's awesome. He's a pretty unique character. I have seen his kit. It has been data mined. I think other channels have covered the data mined kit, so I'm not going to here. But, I mean, he looks pretty solid. He will be released shortly, I believe. It sounds like all this stuff is going to come before too long, since it is the summer update. I would expect within the next 2 weeks we should see most or all of this. Yorick will probably be within the next week, and maybe Basel a little bit after that, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So with Yorick, he's a really cool character. He's got a lot of tags. He's probably going to have the most tags of anyone in the game, except maybe Zane. I think Zane has 6. I think Yorick will have at least 6, because he's going to have, what, Builder, Explorer, I guess he's going to have Castle, Pirate, I think Spooky, right? I mean, it's a Spooky update, Skeletons. He's probably going to have the Spooky tag, and then he'll either have Attacker, Tank, one of those tags. I think he's going to be a support probably after reading his kit, although I'm sure it's mentioned somewhere and I just missed it. Anyway, he's going to have a lot of tags. I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but anyway, he looks like he's going to be a really good plug-and-play character into a pirate or castle team, maybe even a mix of that. Overall, decent character, much better than the latest new character, Great White, and that's probably why Yorick is an Unboxed and not just immediately released to a farmable node. Anyway, the next bit of content we're getting is the Basel the Batlord Brick Pace event. So he'll finally be accessible. It's been over, what has it been now, 9 months since soft launch started that he's been in the game but not accessible. So it's great that we will finally have a way to actually unlock this character because he looks like quite the interesting character. Now, the only other two bits of content are achievements for Brickspedition, and then night levels. So some new maps, and those look fantastic. The design on those is just perfect, and I'm excited to play those. But yeah, achievements, different maps. But besides those two things, we're getting Yorick and Basel. Yorick is going to be an unboxed event, so if you want to get him to a usable level, you're going to have to spend a lot of money, probably over $100 minimum. And Basel, same thing. He's going to be brick pace. You're going to have to spend if you want enough tiles for him to actually be usable. But here's my problem. To make the spooky team really work in any kind of realistic way for Arena, or even Brickspedition really, because the difficulty is pretty high for Brickspedition, if you want to just play with your spooky team in any kind of competitive way, you will need Willa. And Willa is the slowest farm in the entire game. She is a Master Shop exclusive character, which means that you will need an absurd amount of extra character tiles to then get Master Shop currency to then spend on tiles for Willa. I think it's somewhere around 17,600 additional extra tiles after you already have that character at 7 stars, whatever character that might be that you have those extra tiles for, to then convert into Master Shop currency to then spend on Willa to take her to 7 stars. So if you want to immediately get her to 7 stars, it'll be probably at least $10,000 because you're going to have to open a lot of bags to actually max characters to then keep opening bags to get the extra tiles to max her. So unless you already have most of your characters at 7 stars, it's going to probably be around $10,000 minimum to get her to 7 stars, which is absolutely ludicrous. I think there's only 1 or 2 players right now in the entire game that currently have a 7-star Willa, and there are very, very few other players that even have her at 5 stars. I mean, I have more tiles of her than most people do because I've been farming 2 mashup nodes for characters that I already have maxed, Cactus Girl and Hiker, for months now, almost every single day, doing all 12 battles on each node just to try to get extra tiles for those characters to convert into currency, to buy Willa tiles, and I'm only at 21 tiles out of 65 on the way to unlock. So I haven't even unlocked Willa. I'm not even a third of the way to unlocking Willa, and I've been actively farming 2 nodes almost every day to try to get tiles for her. So realistically, I'm probably going to unlock Willa at 4 stars, or actually wait, 65 tiles, that's a 3-star unlock. I'm going to get her to 3 stars in like 4 or 5 more months. I'm not even going to have her to 4 or 5 stars until mid to late 2021. And I'm not going to have her to 7 stars until probably the end of 2022, depending on my luck. So I think you see what I'm getting at here. This is the spook date. They're calling this the spooky update, the summer spooky update. And it's really just an update for Basel and Yorick, kind of. But Yorick isn't really going to be usable for anyone unless you're spending lots of money. Basel, you'll probably be able to unlock him at 4 stars, free to play, if this Brick Pace event follows a similar structure as the past ones, but who knows, they have changed them in the past, like with Yeti and the Imperial event, so who knows, maybe you won't be able to unlock him, but if you will, it'll probably be a 4-star unlock like we've seen in the past. And Basel is going to be a pretty bad character without Willa. Not terrible, because if you put him with Aurora and he's able to keep being killed and then revived and you keep him at a low gear level, it might be effective. I'll talk more about the actual spooky strategy later when we get to the kit reveals for Willa and Basel. I actually might make that a separate video because I've already been talking for a while on this. I'm kind of rambling here. But, okay, here's what I'm getting at. You really need Willa for Basel to be effective. Willa is not easily accessible, so this spooky update is really an update for 1 or 2 players at best, those that have Willa at a usable level and are willing to actually spend on Basel and Yorick and already have Spooky Girl and Zombie at 7 stars. The other thing is I don't see any mention here of Spooky Girl becoming farmable. Right now, you can't get tiles for her unless you want to spend 100 gems per tile in the store, or if you spent money previously to get her to 7 stars when her event came around a while ago, and that was around like 150 to get her to 7 stars, so not many people did that. And Zombie recently became farmable in the guild store, so if you want to use your guild currency on that, you can start getting tiles for Zombie. But, I mean, I think a lot of people, including myself, are just hoarding our currency until a better character is there. So, I don't know. I don't really feel like this is a spooky update. It's a couple spooky characters being released, but no one is going to be able to use them. There's no way you're going to use a 2-star Yorick and a 4-star Basel in any kind of way. Now, what could make this event and this whole update really good is there's another way to gain Willa tiles. I don't know if that's in the plan. I don't know if that's going to be a part of the Basel event, but if there's some way to get Willa tiles, I think this whole thing will be saved and it'll be much, much better. Because even like, I don't know, let's say a 5-star Basel and a 5-star Willa, put them with the King's Court Trio and the new Magistos Tower set, you've got a really good timeout team. And by the way, yes, we are going to go back to a timeout meta, which I am not looking forward to. But yeah, Basel and Willa are going to be completely broken. But like I said, these spooky characters are not easily accessible, so I don't know, it might be 6+ months down the road before we start seeing spooky teams in Arena. But anyway, I digress. The point of this video is an update is coming, the spooky update, and I'm not super hyped about it. There's not a whole lot here for free-to-play players. I'm no longer spending money in the game. So, yeah, I don't know. We will talk about this more as the events get closer and as we get more information, but for now, I'm not super excited about this update. The couple quality of life changes are nice, being able to see the top end of Arena at all times, and being able to see some other information about the players in your guild. But I would love to see a full top 50 listing for daily guild quest contributions and some other stuff like that. Oh, also, I forgot to talk about the changed Unboxed events with the potential to get extra credit. This looks really, really great. They say here, we also wanted to give some more insight on a couple items on this list because the community comments sparked these changes directly for the better. Unboxed event. We agreed that they were simply too fast and simple, so Yorick is our first test with a new format. The same 3 nodes unlocking the minifigure still exist, and we've added several battles, gradually more challenging, that bring additional rewards to the player. We hope you'll like this format more. Let us know when you play it. That's fantastic. I don't know what they plan for those rewards. Maybe more tiles of the character. Doesn't really sound like it though, because I feel like they would have said more tiles, so maybe lots of gold, maybe tiles for other characters, but who knows? We'll have to see. I like the idea of this. More interesting things with Unboxed events, because right now they're super simple, so I like that change. Anyway, we'll just have to wait and see what this update has in store, but from what I've gathered, it almost sounds like this spooky update is kind of a filler for the summer as we progress into a space raid and space reworks in maybe August, September, something like that. They said they're going to hold a Q&A talking about the future of the game and whatnot shortly here. I'll cover that as well once that Q&A drops, but I think we'll get a lot of information then on the direction of the game in the future, and personally, I hope raids are their #1 priority right now. We need raids like yesterday, because raids are really the backbone of these types of games. It's what the community bands together for to help conquer these raid bosses or whatever. I think that's going to be a great boost to this game. Anyway, I've been rambling too much in this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.